Hey everybody, welcome back to Guitar Street, and today we're gonna take a look at the Electro-Voice Everse 8 and also compare it to the very similar Bose S1 Pro and see how the two of them compare. But before that, I think the best way to demonstrate this amplifier is to take it to the streets. So let's go! Okay, I am at Paya Lebar right now. Look at this beautiful square in Paya Lebar. And today, I decided to make a video because we are trying out the Everse 8 from Electro-Voice. I have tried this amp for a couple of weeks and I have quite a lot to share with you about this. So let's check it out and let's also check out my busking setup. So the Everse 8 is quite simple, right? It's a battery powered amplifier and it's a good size, but it's not too heavy. 7.6 kilograms. It sounds like a lot, but believe it or not, it's actually one of the lighter amps when you talk about busking amps like this, okay? The one favorite feature that I have is that it tilts backwards like this, so the sound actually travels much better to the audience, and this is what I like about this. Okay, let's take a look at the controls. The controls are fairly simple. It has two inputs over here that you can see, right? These are both combo jacks, input 1 and 2, and this allows you to use a 1/4 inch input or an XLR input as I'm trying here, okay? And you have the option to go mix out as well. And foot switch, the foot switch here is basically for, you know, you can have a foot switch and you can use it to engage or disengage the reverb, okay? Let's power this on. Okay, when you power it on, you will see that it lights up like this. Everse 8 is the name of this trusty amplifier. And what you can do here is just to go to different inputs, say input 1, change the levels, and then when you press it again, then that will bring you to the overall level of the main mix. So here you can see just a snapshot of a couple of features that they have. AFS, for example, it stands for automatic feedback suppression. So with this amp, you're actually getting some technology, right, to help you prevent feedback in your setup. So I really like this as well. And let's check out input 1. Now when you press this button over here, it's very easy to use. When you press this button in here, they will ask you, right, do you need 48 volts? What's the preset? What's the compression, treble, etc. So already you can see there's some options to mix the audio as you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm using a condenser microphone, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this on 48 volt. Okay, that will give me the compression, the phantom power that's needed for my condenser mic. Now this is actually very helpful because what I used to do, and I used to use a Bose S1 Pro, is that I had to buy one of these things. It's small and it's easy to carry, but you actually need another cable. This is the X-Vive P1. If you have an amplifier that does not have phantom power and your microphone needs phantom power, then this is basically what you need, right? You need to have this thing to send phantom power to your microphone. So when I was using the Bose, I needed to have the XLR in to here and then here to my microphone. So I needed one more XLR cable and I needed to carry this. If I forget this, then I cannot play anymore, you know. So with the Everse 8, it's really simple. All I need to do is just to turn on 48 volt. Okay, let's continue to look at the settings and input 1. So what I want to do is I actually want to do the preset. You can use the preset for microphone, you know, for vocal mic, or I actually like to just keep it to flat. Okay, compression, no compression, everything is flat, right? And then we can adjust it from there. FX, I like for it to have some reverb, so I actually like to turn on the FX a little bit. Let's say minus 19, how's this? Maybe this will work quite well, okay? Now let's go to input 2, let's check out my guitar. Input 2, as you can see here, they've detected that this is a 1/4 inch, so they've already set it to a high Z, right? Everything is automatic, very convenient. Preset is flat, compression is off, everything is flat. FX, I like to also give it a bit of FX, but maybe not so much, because the guitar, just to give it some reverb to make it sit nicer with the vocal, right? Darker here just means that, do you want other signals to be softer when this signal is active? In this case, no, I don't want it, so let's keep it that way, okay? And I'm just gonna increase the reverb a little bit on my vocal. Okay, let's see. Alright, and now we are ready to give it a try. Okay, it's just getting a little bit dark right now, so I've turned on the light. So earlier I promised that you are gonna get a glimpse into my busking equipment, so let's take a look. So my busking equipment is fairly simple. I have my guitar, I have my microphone over here, right? I need a mic stand. And what my setup is very simple, right? So I just have two cables, you know, one going into the microphone input, one going into here, that's for the guitar. And because I like to just play a little bit more on guitar, this is my loop pedal. I have it connected here to a loop pedal, a little cable to go to this RBX Venue DI. And what this does, it actually helps me to just, you know, just mute it if I don't want to. If I don't want that signal. Say for example, if I'm talking and I don't want the guitar to sound out, I just click this mute button. Similarly, if I just want to boost the signal a little bit, all I can do is I just tap this and it will boost the signal. Say for example, if I'm soloing or I'm playing some parts and I feel that the guitar needs more volume, then I will press this boost button. And of course, this DI helps me to shape the sound of the guitar. So these two are not mandatory. If you're just starting out, you could just have a guitar, a mic, the cables to the amp, and you're set. Okay, next is this thing that you see over here. This is my wireless guitar, right? There's the receiver and there's, oh, I got it the wrong way. There's the receiver, oh, see, okay, there's the receiver and then the transmitter. So with this, basically my guitar can then become wireless. Alright, so that's it. That's my simple busking setup. I have this light as well because I feel that in Paya Lebar over here, it's a nice ambience, but it can get a little bit dark in this performing area. So I've just had that to light myself up a little bit. Oh, I forgot to talk a little bit about the other gear that I feel is also useful. So a lot of people actually use a music stand, but I don't like to. I like to just use a tablet stand like this. First of all, I think it minimizes the things that are in the way between you and the audience, right? So it's easy that way. And secondly, I also just like not having to carry one more stand, right? The mic stand, the stands are really, you know, big and bulky, so I try to minimize stands as much as possible. And I think having a tablet stand absolutely makes sense. If you haven't tried one, go ahead and try it out. I guarantee you will not regret it. I'll put a link below, not sponsored. This is the Hercules tablet stand that I use. Very, very helpful. And yes, when you're out there, it's very important. The weather is hot, even though it's at night, so be sure to get a good big bottle of water. And you can also have a mic stand over there just to help you put your guitar down so you can rest, okay? Take care of yourselves and good luck busking. Alright, wait, so there's one more thing you can do that I find that is quite useful. So you can set different settings for this Everse 8 depending on how you're using it. So let's click on, go to the main button. So you can see here, location, kickback. Kickback just means that I'm using it in the kicked back manner like this. Right, so this will be kickback and I've set it to kickback. Other modes include, if I go to other modes, include monitor. Say if you're using it as a stage monitor or you're using it as a tripod, putting on a speaker stand for example, you know, you have the option to do things like this. So I'm gonna set it to kickback and everything is flat. Alright, so that's it for the Everse 8. Let's get to busking. Okay, so I just finished the first set and very, very fun, and surprisingly, there was this Malay auntie who came up to me and said she would like to sing a song, and she sang 月亮代表我的心. So that was like so nice. I hope somebody tags me in the video so I can repost this. But you know, this is what busking is all about and I really, really enjoy it so far. I think the amp did quite well, but honestly I feel like my guitar doesn't cut through very well, and I think the blend between the instruments, like between the guitar and the vocal, it somehow doesn't blend together very well. And I don't know why that's the case, and I'm just comparing because the only other amps that I've tried is the Bose S1 Pro, and I feel like that one had better separation. So although the Everse 8 has good body, right, it projects quite well, but I think the way it sounds musically for live instruments, it's not that good. So maybe if you're a DJ, you could consider this, but if you are busking live,
you might want to try this out, and you can try some of the other amps, popular amps like the Bose S1 Pro or the Street EX. And also, you know, when I stand next to the amp, I think what I hear is actually very muffled, and it does sound different in front. So if you try, I encourage you to try it standing beside the amp or in front of the amp, because in front of the amp is ultimately what's most important, but beside the amp is also equally important, because that's how you feel as a busker. You know, we as buskers, we don't have the luxury of having like monitors, so you kind of have to make do with it. So, you know, just something to consider. All right, so that's just my 2 cents. Alright, welcome back to the studio, and you already saw a couple of different functions of the Electro-Voice Everse 8. Let's take a look at the back right now, and here you can see there is this weatherproof cover. Yes, so the Everse 8 is actually weatherproof, and that means it's actually resistant to rain. This is not really applicable for live music performance because you do need to have your cables and your connections plugged into the sockets over here. But if you are a DJ, you can actually use this, you know, in light rain, or, you know, have this speaker be in light rain, and you don't have to worry too much about it. So that's this function that is not existent on the Bose S1 Pro. As you can see here on the S1 Pro, everything here, you cannot really weatherproof this unless you put something over it, right? So this is something that the Everse 8 has that's different from the S1 Pro. Over here on the Everse 8, you have more settings. There's basically flat, low cut 80 Hz, low cut 120 Hz, vocal mic, voice filter, different kind of microphones, speech, guitar, electric guitar, bass guitar, percussion. So, you know, you have a lot more options and a lot more different kind of sound profiles that I think you would be able to find something that fits your sound better. So definitely more customization options on the Everse 8. You can adjust the treble, mids and bass, right? So that's also different on the S1 Pro. There is only the option to adjust your bass and treble, so not even the mids. So difference is there's no mids adjustment on the Bose. I think that's the main difference between the Everse 8 and the Bose. So it's really about having more customizations to shape your sound, right? There's also an EQ overall that you can EQ your sound, and you can choose the different reverbs. So just more functions from a digital perspective over here. Alright, so next, sound-wise, how do they compare? Now this is where it gets a little bit subjective, but I've used this for a month plus 2 months now, a month or 2 months, and also used it with a couple of friends. So I think we think that the Everse 8 generally is louder, but somehow we kind of feel the Bose is a little bit more musical. At least this is for live instruments, right? So we have a live mic, we have guitar, and we have a keyboard. So we think it's more musical, and it's kind of more warm, and we just like the sound signature a little bit better. Again, what we did not do is that we did not go into the Everse 8 so much. It's mainly plug and play. We didn't go into it so much and tweak all the settings that we could. So I'm sure that if you do that, you can get this system to sound better, and you can get this system to sound according to the surroundings that you play in. So that's something to consider. But if you're playing live instruments and you want something that's a bit more plug and play, then maybe the Bose S1 Pro is for you. Or if you are a DJ. Now, if you're a DJ, I think that this would be the better option, because this has more options for customizability, and, you know, wet weather, or you can always put this on and you don't need to access any of these buttons. So if you're a DJ, I think this is a great choice over here. Alright, so in summary, I hope you like this review, and the Everse 8 basically is something that gives you more options for customizability, whereas the Bose S1 Pro is, at least mine, preferred choice for live instruments, and as well as being something that is a little bit warmer and cuts through a little bit better. So my choice is the Bose S1 Pro, but you cannot go wrong with either of these beautiful, amazing amplifiers, right? This is the Bose S1 Pro from Bose, and this is the Everse 8 from Electro-Voice. So thank you so much to Electro-Voice for letting us check out this amplifier. We had a lot of fun trying it,
And look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. My name is Sheng Li and you are watching Guitar Street. Bye bye!